Hey foodies, thanks for watching. Today we're making donuts. Donut or donut? I do not know, but whichever way you spell it, it's always good to sink your teeth into those sweet treats. And today just happens to be Donut Day. Well, let's be honest, Donut Day should be every day. They're so good. I find that they hit that spot when you're craving something sweet. And for me, I can't just pop by the local coffee shop to grab my favorite donut. So I wanted to make some today, and when you sink your teeth into these tasty, soft, and fluffy baked donuts, you're sure going to want to have more than just one. But let's be honest, donuts don't necessarily have a good rap. They're basically deep fried. Sure, deep frying makes things taste really good, but baking a donut can make your sweet temptation a little bit healthier. And it's not that hard to do. You just need a slightly different recipe to bake your donut. I've searched the internet for that perfect recipe, and there are lots. They're all the same, and they're all different. I've taken my knowledge of gluten-free baking and used the bits and bobs from different recipes to make this great gluten-free donut recipe. So follow along with me as we bake a gluten-free baked donut. And I want to start by mixing all of my dry ingredients. And today I'm using Frankie's gluten-free all-purpose flour, and it's a great gluten-free all-purpose flour because I can use it cup for cup with pretty much any other regular gluten-based recipe to mimic the results, but it makes it gluten-free. And I'm going to add my sugar and my salt. I do need to add a little bit more xanthan gum, and that's because I need a little bit more stretch and elasticity when I'm making the donuts, because donuts need to be that extra fluffy and stretchy. I'm going to add yeast and baking powder. And I'm going to grab a whisk, and I'm going to mix this up. Easy peasy. So I'm going to take my flour bowl that I used, and I'm just going to drop my eggs in there, and my butter, and my vanilla. And I'm just going to mix these up just to combine all of those, and then I'm going to add it to my dry ingredients. Okay. And then I'm going to mix this up. And I'm probably going to need to switch to my spatula. So we've combined that, and I want to add some nice warm milk. You can use a dairy alternative like almond or soy or oat milk. No problem. And we'll just keep mixing. You can see it's all coming together quite nicely. There we go. It's all mixed up. I'm going to cover this with a bit of plastic wrap. I'm just going to go right down on top of it. And I'm going to refrigerate this for about 30 minutes just to let the gluten-free flour absorb all that moisture to make it a little bit drier. See you in a moment. It's been 30 minutes. It's just come out of the fridge. It's still warm from the warm milk that we've used. And I can actually touch it now and it doesn't stick to my fingers, which I'm really happy about. I'm going to lightly flour my work surface here. And I'm going to bring this out. That looks really nice. And I'm just going to lightly work it just so that it doesn't stick to my fingers. You can see right here it's sticking just a little tiny bit. So I just want a little bit more flour just to keep it from sticking. But I don't want to over flour it because I want it to be nice and fluffy. So I'm going to lightly roll it to about 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch in thickness. So that's it right there. And I've got a parchment paper lined baking sheet, and I've got about a 5 centimeter or 2 inch, 2.5 inch, 7 centimeter cookie cutter, and I'm just going to cut circles, and I'm going to place them right on the cookie sheet. So I'll do another one. Oh, these look great. And I'm going to space them so that there's enough room for them to rise and expand a little bit. These look great. They smell amazing. Oh my God. I can't wait to sink my teeth into these. Okay, and I'm just going to ball the dough up again. And I'm going to roll it out. What's really nice about making gluten-free things is you don't have to worry so much about the dough getting tough or hard because it's gluten-free. There's no gluten to develop, so it's not going to get tough and hard. I mean, there are some benefits to baking gluten-free, and that is definitely one of them. So again, I'm going to roll it to about 2.5 centimeters, 1 inch, and I'm going to cut it out. There's one. I think I can squeeze just enough out of that. There we go. I'm going to set these. And I think I've got enough for at least 1, maybe 2 more donuts. Roll it out so it's a little bit more even. There's that. Look at how nice that is. Like, it's just beautiful. I'll bring this over here so we can just take a look. I mean, that's 2, 4, 6. That's 8 donuts. I don't think we're going to get a larger donut here. No, I don't think we're going to get even a half a donut. So that's just going to go. So I've preheated my oven to 80 degrees Fahrenheit or about 32 Celsius. So it's not very warm at all. And these are just, and now I've shut it off. I'm going to turn my light on. I'm going to cover them with plastic wrap. And I'm just going to let them rise for the next 90 minutes in my oven. And I'm going to leave them undisturbed. They need to stay in a nice warm spot with warm air for 90 minutes. And I'm going to pull them out. We're going to take a look at them. And then we're going to bake with them. See you in 90 minutes. So it's been 90 minutes. And they have risen. I can see a lot more fluffiness in them, which is exactly what I want to see. I've preheated my oven to 370 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. And I'm going to bake them for 15 minutes or until they are golden. And then we're going to pull them out and we're going to do the next step. Oh, these smell and look really good. I'm really excited about them. So they've just come out of the oven. We need to mix in a little bit of sugar and a little bit of cinnamon. And while they're still warm, I want to brush them with some melted butter. Just doing the outside surfaces, and you can look at the bottom. It's nice and golden brown. And then I want to roll this in some sugar. And that, the reason why you're brushing it while it's warm and then rolling it in the sugar is it helps the sugar stick a little bit better, and it melts it a little tiny bit, so it creates almost like a crusty layer on the donut. These are warm to the fingers. Make sure you don't burn your fingers. Wow! They look really good, so I want to dip that one again. And I'll just brush the rest of these. I've got some cream warming up because that's going to be part of our filling, which we're going to do while these are cooling down a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to just give them one more dip on the top, and I'm just going to transfer them to a cooling rack where they can cool for just a few minutes. Oh, look at that, I missed one. So I'm going to dip that, and then dip the top again. Oh, they look so good. Okay, and rinse my fingers. So I'm going to set this aside. And now we're on to the filling part. And so there's a couple different, I mean, you can do any kind of filling you want. You could make a custard, you can make a maple filling. I was gonna make a chocolate ganache filling because who doesn't like chocolate? And then I thought, you know, I've got some great strawberry jam from the cupboard. I'm gonna do a strawberry jam filling, and that's just jam. And you can buy that at the store, or you can do what I've done and make your own homemade jam. It's really easy. So to make a ganache, you wanna add your chocolate and your cream. And I'm gonna give that a little stir, just a light stir, and I'm just gonna let that sit. And while it's sitting, we're gonna make a piping bag. So I've got a nice large triangle piece of parchment paper, and you wanna take one of the corners from the widest point, and you wanna fold it onto itself, and you wanna take it right up to the opposite corner. And this is coming to about the halfway point. And I'm gonna pick it up, and then this comes around the other way, just like that. And you've got a piping bag. And what's nice about it is it's parchment, so nothing's gonna stick to it. And when you're done with it, you can just throw it in the composter and you're good to go. So here, I'll do it one more time just so that you see how it's done. So we're gonna fold it over, and then we fold that one over, and it just sort of, now it's not gonna work for me. There we go. And you've got nice points. And then to hold it all together, you just fold the top in just a tiny little bit, and it keeps it from falling apart. So we can actually just snip off the tip here and just push this into the donut and squeeze the chocolate. We can put a piping tip in, or you can use a Bismarck tip. I don't have a Bismarck tip, so I'm just gonna use a regular cake piping tip. And I'm just gonna cut off a little bit of the top, and then I'm gonna drop the tip in. You can see it poking out, and that will be perfect. So let's get these ready. I'm gonna go jam with one. Let's do this one with the jam. And the jam, you want to make sure it's nice and smooth, that there's not big clumps in there, or we're gonna have a big hard time getting everything out of the piping tip. There we go. And you're gonna need about a quarter cup if you're gonna do half of them, or you're gonna need about half a cup if you're gonna do all of them. And then we're gonna just fold over the edge so it doesn't ooze out the top. That little bit on the top just came out from a little bit of extra spillage. So that's there. Let's go back to our ganache, and I'm gonna give it a stir, and you can see all the chocolate is melting really nicely. It's working really, really well. Probably needs another couple minutes just to melt. And I'm gonna give it a really good stir. Oh God, that smells good. You want to use a chocolate, like a chocolate chip that actually has cocoa as one of the first ingredients. If it's way down on the list, you probably want to avoid that as making a ganache. And the reason for that is just it's going to taste a lot better because you're working with real chocolate and not just an emulsified kind of chocolate. Oh, this is going really well. And if you don't want to use cream, by all means use hot water. Just boil the kettle, pour a bit of hot water in. It's going to make a water chocolate ganache instead of a cream chocolate ganache. And I've done that many times, and it's really good too. There we go, nice and smooth. Just took a couple minutes. So now I'm going to take this piping bag, and I'm going to fill it with some chocolate ganache. If you don't end up using all the chocolate ganache, you can store it in the fridge in an airtight container for up to about a week. And then when you want to use it again, you just warm it up, and it's great. It's really good on pancakes and waffles. That's probably lots. Okay, and this is where it gets messy for me. Oh, it's coming at the end. Let's wipe that out. Okay, so we're going to bring these over. Almost lost one there. And I'm going to take a knife and I'm just going to poke the hole right in there. So I want to fill it with whatever it is we're putting in it, like the jam or the chocolate. So I'm going to start with the strawberry jam. So I'll fold that down. I find my opening. I have to get it in there. And then I just fill it until it starts coming out. And you can see it's just starting to come out. So that one's done. Oh, oozed out there a little bit. And one more. Oops. That one didn't take much. Okay, and now for the chocolate one. Press and fill it with chocolate. And you can see it's just starting to ooze out. Oh, that looks so good. There we go. So these look good enough to eat. I can't wait. I kind of want to try the strawberry jam one. So let's go with that one. That one looks good. You can feel they're a little bit dense, but they're firm. I can definitely tell that they're baked. It makes me feel kind of good that they're baked and not deep fried. I mean, I love a good deep fried donut, but they just too many of them and they upset my stomach, so go with baked. Oh my god. I love this, the cinnamon sugar on top. It's very light with cinnamon. I didn't want to put much cinnamon in with the sugar because I didn't want it to take away from the donut flavor or the jam that's in it. I mean, it's really nice. It's a nice dense donut. It's almost cake-like. I need another bite. What can I say? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 donuts to eat. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again. I'm gonna try a chocolate one.